A warm welcome to our guest and all the participants. I'm Ankita from Jaljivika. We all are here with the theme International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture 2022. This year, it will be an opportunity to celebrate a diversity of small scale artisanal fisheries and aquaculture, highlighting a related innovations and to build and strengthen support and partnerships at all levels. This AquaTalk session is arranged to celebrate the World Water Day held on 22nd of March with the theme Groundwater Making the Invisible Visible. Groundwater is invisible, but its impact is visible everywhere, out of sight, under our feet. Groundwater is a hidden treasure that enriches our lives. So, we need to work together to sustainably manage this precious resource. आज के एक्वाटॉक सत्र को 22 मार्च आयोजित विश्व जल दिवस का जश्न मनाने के लिए आयोजित किया गया है, जिसका विषय था भूजल अदृश्य दृश्यमान बनाना। भूजल अदृश्य है, लेकिन इसका प्रभाव हर जगह दिखाई देता है। दृष्टि से बाहर हमारे पैरों के नीचे भूजल एक छिपा हुआ खजाना है जो हमारे जीवन को समृद्ध करता है। इसलिए हमें इस बहुमूल्य संसाधन को स्थायी रूप से प्रबंधित करने के लिए मिलकर काम करना आवश्यक है। Now I would like to talk about our organization. Jal Jivika was started in year 2013 with idea of using each and every water body, whatever is their productivity potential, to harnessing for increasing a rural livelihood and ensuring a food security at household level. We covered various kind of experience by traveling Bihar, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, where we used to work with tribals, women using small seasonal water bodies as a seed production unit. So in Andhra Pradesh, with tribals, women, we have mobilized more than 700 farmers doing the seed business. And during COVID time, we have found their livelihood was sustained with the seed sale. And one of these fisheries women's cooperative, they are doing the cage fisheries in Yavatmal district. Those women earn up to 4 lakh of profit from the cage fisheries and distributed that profit among their members. जल जीविका की शुरुआत वर्ष 2013 में प्रत्येक जल क्षेत्र का उपयोग करने के विचार के साथ की गई थी। उनका उत्पादन जो भी हो, ग्रामीण आजीविका बढ़ाने और घरेलू स्तर पर खाद्य सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करने के लिए उपयोग करने की क्षमता उनमें हो, इस विचार से किया गया था। हमने बिहार, झारखंड, महाराष्ट्र, आंध्र प्रदेश, उड़ीसा की यात्रा करके विभिन्न प्रकार के अनुभवों को कवर किया, जहां हम आदिवासी और महिलाओं के समूहों के साथ काम करते थे। महिलाओं ने बीज उत्पादन इकाई के रूप में छोटे मौसमी जल क्षेत्र का उपयोग किया। इसलिए आंध्र प्रदेश जिले में हमने बीज व्यवसाय करने वाले 700 से अधिक किसानों को सपोर्ट किया और कोविड के समय के दौरान हमने पाया कि बीज बिक्री के साथ उनकी आजीविका बनी थी। और मत्स्य पालन महिला सहकारी संघ में यवतमाल जिले में केज मछली पालन कर रहे हैं, उन महिलाओं को केज के मत्स्य पालन से 4 लाख तक लाभ हुआ और उस लाभ को अपने सदस्यों के बीच उन्होंने वितरित किया। ओके, तो चलो अब हम आज के सेशन के विषय की ओर बढ़ते हैं। सो टुडेज सब्जेक्ट दैट इज पोटेंशियल ऑफ वाटर of aquatic food crops. Aquatic food crops have huge potential to increase livelihood and source and secure food security. Apart from the fishes, there are various edible, nutritional and medicinally important aquatic plants that need to be incorporated in water-based livelihood. जलीय खाद्य फसलों में आजीविका बढ़ाने और खाद्य सुरक्षा को सुरक्षित करने की अपार संभावनाएं हैं। मछलियों के अलावा विभिन्न खाद्य, पौष्टिक और औषधीय रूप से महत्वपूर्ण जलीय पौधे हैं, जिन्हें जल आधारित आजीविका प्रणाली में शामिल करने की आवश्यकता है। So today we have valuable presence of guest speaker Dr. Pratap Mukhopadhyay sir. He had done a lot of work and research on aquatic plants. His PhD from University of Calcutta. He was a postdoc fellow at Institute of Aquaculture, University of Stirling, United Kingdom. He worked as senior scientist at International Rice Research Institute and served as FAO consultant in aquaculture in Kenya and Uganda. Also, he is retired as a principal scientist from ICR CIFA at Calcutta. I welcome you, sir. Now,
Thank you.
without any further delay, I would like to request Dr. Pratap Mukhopadhyay, sir, to share his vision, experience, and knowledge on today's topic. Yes, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you so much. Namaskar and good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. My talk, as Ankita has already stated, will deal with aquatic plant food crop and their potential in food security and livelihood generation. Now, whenever we think of an aquatic crop, we generally do not consider plants. We think of fish, we think of crustaceans, mollusks, and several other organisms, and they are all of animal origin. Perhaps this is justified also. But over and above these animal-based human foodstuff, I should say, there are plenty of aquatic plants of value, which again Ankita has stated about their nutritional richness, about their medicinal importance. Somehow or the other, these resources, or I should say these aquatic bioresources, have not yet received adequate attention. And this is an area on which I will be speaking on certain aspects of freshwater aquatic plant food crops and their importance in food security and livelihood. Now, when you say food security, at least 2-3 points come to our mind. Food security means, and as everybody knows, food should be available in sufficient quantity. Food should be, all the people should have access to food. And the food, the intake of which will provide adequate nutrient and energy on assimilation for our well-being. So at least these 3 criteria should be satisfied before a food is considered for our security purposes. I will also go to the livelihood purpose little later, but in our country, particularly, most of you are aware that we have 2 cropping seasons. One we called Kharif season or monsoon season. Monsoon crop or Kharif crop. And the other is Rabi. And this goes on in a cycle every year. Now, if you look at the period between monsoon crop or the Kharif crop and Rabi crop, you will find a season which can be called a lean season. And during these lean seasons, the resource poor people in the villages, in our villages, I have seen, especially in the state of Bengal and certain other eastern states, that this is the time, or this intermediate time between Kharif and Rabi. Most farmers have a very difficult time, to procure food items. Even with regard to livelihood also, they have to pass through very difficult times. Now, in this context, what I have felt that aquatic...
Hello, excuse me,
hello.
Dr. Pratap.
Yeah.
This PPT is not moving. Are you showing PPT?
No, I'm not showing PPT.
Okay, then it's fine.
I'm not showing PPT. Now, I'll start showing the PPT. Now, but am I audible? Anita, am I audible? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, fine. Now, what I mean to say, these since these aquatic plant components have not received adequate attention, despite having despite having incredible amount of nutrients and opportunities for livelihood with regard to their farming and sell. A lot of efforts have been taken up in recent times in some parts of our country, but not everywhere. We have an advantage compared to many other countries. We have enormous amount of water bodies spread almost everywhere in the country. Now, those will be the resources on which, based on which, we will think of the potentials of aquatic plant food crops for food security and livelihood generation. Ankita, can you have the first slide, please? Now, I want to call these as alternate plant bioresources. Alternate plant bioresources in the sense we have a huge variety of terrestrial plant bioresources. Now, for these aquatic plant bioresources, I wish to name it alternate plant bioresources, which are potential repository of a variety of food attributes. And most important is these can be grown under inhospitable climatic conditions in our water bodies, including fallow wetlands. Now, the climate change effects are becoming very clear in every conceivable environment, be it water, soil. But these plants on which I should be speaking in coming few minutes, they can grow and they can thrive and grow under any kind of inhospitable conditions. And these aquatic plant communities form not only food, but also serve as fodder crops for different livestock and poultry birds, livestock animals and poultry birds. And I should say their nutritional richness offers scope for our multiple benefit with regard to our future food scenario. In this presentation, my area would like to indicate that these aquatic plant bioresources are very likely to be our future foods and will provide a substantial component of nourishment in the foreseeable future. Next one, please. Next slide, please. Ankita, next one. So as I was telling you that we have a huge water resources in our country. These water resources are in the form of ponds and tanks, bills and jheels, derelict water bodies, swamps, reservoirs, canals, and an area which is not very commonly known to many is the deep water rice fields. Now, these are huge areas. So water bodies are spread. So I can say that this India is a treasure house of water resources. Can you go to the next one? Next slide, please.
और वो भी फिशरीज की है रन में तस्वीर
Hello?
हाँ वो फिशरीज लगा
Not only these water bodies, our tropical climate, our species diversity, our available technologies, our critical inputs, including indigenous traditional knowledge, and finally, our excellent rainfall pattern, which is about 130 centimeter a year, are our strength. So with these strength, which means water bodies, climate, species, rainfall pattern, and our indigenous traditional knowledge or farmers' wisdom, I am very sure that we can make any inconvenient position to bring benefit for our purpose. Next one. You can see a typical water body. Typical water body, which whatever you can call it a wetland, or you can wish to call it a bill, jheel in the local terms. And such water bodies are the natural habitats of huge varieties of plants and animals. I will exclude the animal component, animal bioresource component, and emphasize only on plant part. The next one. Let us start with certain selected aquatic plants. Now, this is a plant which is known as the Ural ferox, or commonly called makhana or makhna, generally called makhana. It's a very high value crop of aquatic origin, high value crop of aquatic origin, and the product, or the makhana, is a very highly nutritious, I should say, nutritious, and it has a therapeutic applications also. This is widely cultivated in Bihar, in the North Bihar, I should say, mostly, Jharkhand, part of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and part of West Bengal also. Generally, during pre-monsoon period, the seeds get germinated and sprouting takes place. Sprouting generally takes place during the rainy period. And the seedlings take about 4 months to become mature. So in 4 to 5 months, the seeds become mature. Seeds of makhana become mature and can be harvested. But one caution here: the harvesting requires very skilled farmers. Harvesting cannot be done by everybody. In that case, total production cannot be available. Now, seeds of makhana are not only edible, they are very delicious. traditionally people of North India, especially Bihar, um, uses these seeds for multiple purposes. Generally, these seeds are puffed, and these puffs are, makhana puffs are marketed. Makhana puffs are marketed, and these are marketed almost nowadays in all shopping complexes and plazas. And these makhana has a very unique therapeutic value, especially with regard to gastrointestinal problems. These makhana has a very important role. Moreover, for I should say bile disorder and certain uric acid related problems also, makhana has been found to give a better result. Now, the next one, please. You can see the seeds of makhana, seeds and the puffed seeds, both you can see side by side. And this has been taken from a village called Harishchandrapur near Malda in West Bengal. Next one, please. And the lady is preparing the makhanas. Puffed makhana she is preparing, and these are packed and sold in the market. Can you go to the next one, please? Now, next to makhana, I will come to one more aquatic plant crop of importance. This is called a shingara or water chestnut. Water chestnut is actually an annual herb with buoyant rosette of leaves around. This is called a Trapa bisponisa. It's an aquatic plant under commercial cultivation almost everywhere in the country. Its utility as a cultivable species has been recognized due to its very tasty kernel. Not only tasty, it is nutritious and also delicious. The advantage is it can be grown in a water body with a varying pH. For example, if the pH ranges from 6.5 to 8.5, say for example, lightly acidic pH to fairly good alkaline pH, it can grow and it can tolerate.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sorry to interrupt you, but can you please talk in Hindi? Some farmers are listening.
Okay, so थोड़ा हिंदी में कुछ बोलना चाहिए ना? Okay.
Yes, sir.
ये जो शिंगाड़ा है, ये टेम्परेचर भी, ये तापमान भी बहुत 18 से 38 डिग्री तक हो सकता, चल सकता. So इतना लंबा टेम्परेचर गैप में भी, रेंज में भी ये शिंगाड़ा कल्टीवेशन कर सकते हैं. ये शुरू होता मानसून के टाइम वो मान लीजिए लेट जून से शुरू होगा प्लांटेशन. वो सीडलिंग्स प्लांटेशन करना है. उसके जिस टाइम में डेप्थ ऑफ वाटर होता है, गभीरता होता है कि 1 मीटर to 1.5 मीटर मैक्सिमम. 1 meter is enough, and during late September the first harvest takes place. So देखिए late June से late September, 3 months, within 3 months में ये हार्वेस्टिंग हो जाता है. फर्स्ट हार्वेस्ट हो जाता है. सेकेंड हार्वेस्ट होता है अगेन आफ्टर 15 days, एंड दिस वे कंटिन्यूअस हार्वेस्टिंग चलेगा for 3 months, and from the initial harvest. Generally 2 to color होता है, दो कलर, एक एक है लाल और एक हरा, रेड एंड ग्रीन। ये है कि सब पीपल रेड फ्रूट्स पसंद है कि रेड इज मोर एक्सेप्टेबल। फ्रेश कर्नल्स आर एडिबल, उस पे जो जो कर्नल्स है वो वेरी अच्छा है, टेस्टी है, एंड न्यूट्रिशनली वेरी रिच है। न्यूट्रिशनली मीन्स इस पे वेरी हाई क्वांटिटी कैल्शियम, फास्फोरस और जिंक है। ये तीनों एलिमेंट मिनरल एलिमेंट ह्यूमन हेल्थ के लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड ये इसका कुछ रेमेडियल वैल्यूज भी है कि बोला जाता है कि कूलिंग इफेक्ट है, ठंडा होता है, सब ठंडा करते हैं शरीर को। एंड इज there is a feeling that especially when the temperature is a little high, consumption of water chestnut cools our body, so it has a cooling effect. And sometimes it is said that the thinking skill also, सोचने की opportunity भी बढ़ जाता है। So these are some of the things. आप next slide में दिखाइए कुछ, ये अंकिता मैडम, ये है देखिए रेड और ग्रीन वैरायटी दिखाई देता हो शिंगाड़ा का। दिस इज कॉल्ड वाटर चेस्टनट। नेक्स्ट वन देखिए हार्वेस्ट हो रहा है, ये भी देखिए पॉन्ड से ये फार्मर हार्वेस्ट किया, काफी हार्वेस्ट किया है। These plants are very, very important. Especially I have seen in West Bengal, in parts of North Bihar, I have seen that these are very common harvest everywhere. Next one. ये दोनों का बाद तीसरी नंबर प्लांट जो हम बोलेंगे, दिस इज ए लोटस प्लांट। सब एवरी जानते हैं ये, दिस इज ए वेरी सैक्रेड फ्लावर फॉर आवर कंट्री। वी ऑल कंसिडर, ऑल रिलीजियंस कंसिडर lotus as a very sacred flower because of I should say its cosmic beauty and versatile qualities. ये ब्यूटी तो सबको ही मालूम है, and the importance is all parts of the plant are used for some benefit or the other. So all parts of the plant, and ये जो होता है growth of the plant, it has two distinct periods. One is the active period and the other is the dormant period. Now, total cultivation period is generally, total cultivation period ranges from 6 to 7 months and commencing from mid-March to mid-October. So, lotus का cultivation period है mid-March से mid-October, and it is harvested in 3 phases. The first phase is harvested in May, then again in July, and then it is in October. So, ये तीनों month में ये harvesting हो रहा है, होता है. The rhizome and the roots are used as food after boiling. The starchy rhizome can be eaten as pickles, fried chips. So starchy rhizome is very delicious. The thalamus is used as a vegetable. And seeds, about the lotus seeds, I should say this is an oriental delicacy and roasted and eaten as snacks. Rhizome contains several micronutrients. Again, this includes calcium, sulfur, and potassium. And next one, please. the same type of photograph of the lotus. This can be grown even in a cemented tanks. And next one, what I will say here and may not be known to many people. This is a very recent origin. Actually, it's the country like Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, they have been doing miracles. They are taking out silk from lotus, and they feel that lotus silk is the best. So we know silk is from mulberry, silk is from tashar and several other such things. But silk from a plant was never known. Now, those countries, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, they have shown us. And now, recently, I have been seeing an NGO has started work with lotus silk in Bengal also. And these lotus silk can have a huge potential in future for export purposes also. Next one, you can see how the silk is. You can see how the thread is taken out. Next one, this is how the thread is taken. So the entire part of the plant, lotus plant, is utilized. And now if this silk can be commercialized, I think this will open up a new opportunity of livelihood using aquatic plants in the very near future. The next one. Now, apart from these lotus, the one common plant which is, I should say, which has a worldwide distribution, I can say, it's called lily, water lily. This is the national flower of Bangladesh. It has a variety of color, and advantage is it can grow in temperate, it can grow in tropical and subtropical climates. And the another advantage is it's a perennial plant. Perennial plant, the leaves develop directly from the rootstock on very long petioles. Petioles are very long, you can see. They're very long petioles, orbital in shape, smooth along the outer margins. The stalks, the thalamus, and the rhizomes, again, like lotus, after boiling, forms delicious food items. Rhizomes and stalk are little astringent. Some people feel that the alkaloids present in water lily have some sedative action. So water lily is again a very important aquatic crop which has a food value as well as commercial importance also. Next slide, please. And another water lily, it has multiple colors. Several colors are there. Next one. I have not been able to show, there are many beautiful colors, but I will not be able to show many slides. So this water lily is very common almost everywhere, and in Bengal it is in every village. Next one. This is again a variety of water lily. Next. This is a different crop. This is Colocasia. This is a Colocasia, another aquatic crop. This is a rhizomatous herbaceous plant with variable size and shape of the rhizomes. Petioles again grow very long. Generally, rhizomes are planted in the soil, mud soil. Originally, organically, the soil facilitates its growth. We never have to use any manure or fertilizer. And it takes about, I should say, 3 to 4 months to harvest the edible rhizomes. Again, all parts of it are edible. One caution here, it has calcium oxalate in it, and this may develop itching inside the mouth during the intake. Now, this content can be minimized. This content of oxalate can be minimized, I should say, by culinary art, and that the tubers are palatable. In wild ones, the runners propagating unit is also edible, and these runners have very high potassium content. Potassium-rich food are not many, so that way the Colocasia runners are very rich in potassium and can be consumed sometimes for those by those who has a potassium deficiency problem. Next one, please. This is a, I should say, wild macrophyte, a very common, and this is water spinach, we call culmi or Ipomia aquatica. This is a very tasty leafy plant, aquatic leafy plant. I should say a delicacy in most parts of Bengal and maybe in other places also. These grow easily in aquatic environment, and during this lean season, I mentioned the season between Kharif and Rabi. I have seen many village women collect these Ipomia and sell it to the market, and this is how they manage their livelihood. Next one, please. Another important aquatic crop is azolla. Azolla is not human food, but azolla has a high nourishment and used as a fodder. Now, in the rural areas, fodder is also very important. And this lean season, particularly during the lean season, there is a fodder shortage also. Now, the women can easily culture azolla in an enclosure in a pond without disturbing others. And this can be used as a biofertilizer, and mostly this can be used as a feed component in the for poultry birds, for livestock animals, and even for fish also. So azolla as a fish feed, azolla as a poultry feed for poultry birds, ducks and chicks, azolla as a feed for livestock animals are very, very important. Now, the azolla cultivation again is very simple, I should say, very easy. So azolla should be mandatorily cultured. I should say in all villages, and such a nutritious fodder and a biofertilizer is rare. So I will request anyone who has not yet taken up azolla cultivation may please think of incorporating azolla. The next one, please. Now I will talk of some small duckweeds. Duckweeds, duckweeds are named because the ducks prefer these weeds. This is the lemna minor. Now they grow very easily in freshwater bodies and can form the food for ducks, chicks. Very nutritive and delicious also. Lemna and other two are there. I will show you in the next two slides. Next one. The other are Ulfia, Spirodella, Lemna, Ulfia, and Spirodella. These three are collectively called duckweeds. And these are preferred food items for ducks in the nature. And this can be grown in small enclosure in a pond or a water body without affecting the other or routine activities. And this can be fed to the ducks and chicks, because small animal rearing in villages is a very common experience. Now for them, particularly during the lean season, feeding becomes a problem. These duckweed cultivation in small enclosures in a water body can certainly help to a great extent to these people to provide food for the poultry birds. There are, as well as I said, there are pistia, and I think I have shown the culvi or the ipomia. These are some of the very important aquatic plants of importance in our rural context. Next one. This is again, a pistia, a very beautiful plant. I do not know, in future it may have a place in as a component in our water garden at each home. Like many people maintain ornamental fishes in aquarium. Maybe some people will like to maintain such pistia or some aquatic plants which are so beautiful at home even. So in that case, again, some entrepreneurship may develop. Next one. This is again a very important, very important crop. In Bengali, we called Shushuni. This is a medicinal crop. Shushuni, this is actually Marsillia minuta. Marsillia minuta is a we call it shag, or a leafy, aquatic leafy plant of immense medicinal importance. So those who have insomnia related problems, for them the Ayurveds suggest periodic consumption of this Shushuni or Marsillia minuta. Next one, please. You can see the two women collecting Shushuni or Marsillia from an aquatic body. This is very much in demand in the market. Generally, these are not cultivated; these are grown wild. So I should say these are actually very much in demand, and as uncultivated crops. There are many uncultivated crops which provide opportunities for livelihood purposes. So this is one such uncultivated crop, and these rural women can definitely earn at least little money by selling these Marsillia. Next one, please. Again, collectively some of the aquatic plants have been shown. You can see first one is a very beautiful aquatic submerged aquatic plant. These first two I am very sure has a very huge scope in the near future to be used in the aquarium as along with fish, instead of using plastic aquatic plants. These natural plants will be definitely good in all respects, uh, for cleaning the environment, for providing oxygen, and even from the context of beauty also. So I'm very sure particularly these two aquatic plants, will have a very good potential as a commercial venture. Next one. Uh, there are innumerable aquatic plants. Those cannot be shown all at a time. A few selected ones have been shown here, and all these have nutritive values, and these will have a scope for applications with regard to human food or animal fodder, and also for purposes of medicines. Next one. Everybody knows about spirulina. Now, spirulina culture. This spirulina, what I will be talking now, is actually not human grade. This is, you can say, animal grade spirulina. Now, whatever it is, those who are able to culture human grade spirulina, that's very different. That is very different because it's very costly also. But animal grade spirulina can definitely be cultivated. You know, the spirulina is a blue-green algae. It belongs to Cyanophyceae group. And generally in the little saline area, it grows better. Its high protein content, its high beta carotene content, and content of host of vitamins are well known. So spirulina can be the culture of spirulina can be a very interesting exercise. It can provide a lot of opportunities in earning the revenue. Its protein is of very high quality. The amino acid profile is almost at par with hen's egg. So spirulina culture can be easily done. The indoor culture is very simple. Indoor culture generally is done using a particular solution, what we called is Xerox medium. This Xerox medium, which contains sodium bicarbonate, dipotassium hydrogen phosphate, and several others, can be utilized in the indoor quantities. But only thing, the first thing that we need is the collection of the approved strain of these spirulina from an authorized institutions. For example, we procured from CFTRI Mysore, Central Food Technological Research Institute Mysore. They maintain a strain, so anybody asking for spirulina strain from CFTRI can get it free of cost. We collected from Bharati Darshan University in Tamil Nadu, in Trichy. So only thing that you need first is the initial stock of spirulina, and then the animal food grade spirulina can easily be cultured with a little bit of hands-on training. So this is a very interesting aquatic plant-based livelihood that I feel has a huge potential in the foreseeable future. Next one, please. I have not talked so much so far about a crop of rice. Many of you may not be knowing of this kind of rice variety. We call it deep water rice. Deep water rice is different from the kind of rice that we generally are accustomed to. We are accustomed to upland or semi upland or even low lying rice, but these rice varieties are deep water rice, and during harvest also the farmer has to use a boat and it cuts the panicle. So you can imagine during the harvest also the water depth is more than 4 to 5 feet. So you can see this person in the deep water paddy field. So this is a very important aquatic crop. Next one. You can see the rice seedlings of deep water rice. The water is so deep, becomes so deep that this water can be utilized for the production of a crop of fish also along with rice. So here these farmers are releasing some fish fingerlings. So along with deep water rice, these fish also will grow. So these deep water rice fields provide an opportunity to get rice as well as some fish also. Next one. This is a huge deep water rice field in Bengal, in the North Bengal, in Malda district. So people are collecting fish from this deep water rice field. Next one. You can see a deep water experimental rice field in a place where I used to work for a very long time in West Bengal. You can see it is located in Chinsura in Hooghly district. You can see the trainees are undergoing field work, and they are almost deep in the field. Next one. We have deep water rice areas in several eastern states. Assam leads in terms of area. North Bihar again has a huge area. In Odisha also, in eastern UP and in West Bengal. So total 1.6 million hectares of deep water rice is there. There are very deep water rice, there are coastal saline salt. So this table indicates how much area of deep water rice is available in eastern India. Next one. There are several aquatic plant organisms which we call phytoplankton. These also are to be grown because these form the natural food for the cultivable fish species. So this development of phytoplankton can also give an opportunity for a livelihood purposes, plankton production and sale. Next one. Now, this is a table. In this table, we have shown how the aquatic plant bioresources can be utilized. You can see the Ipomia, the entire plant can be utilized. It has medicinal importance. The Centella asiatica, the leaves and leafy vegetables. Then there are several plants which I have discussed have been shown here, and their use and medicinal importance also are just indicated. Next one, please. And here we have shown the nutritive value of some of the aquatic plant bioresources in terms of micronutrients, especially because these may not have very high protein, but micronutrient wise these are very rich. So these aquatic plant bioresources are very rich in terms of several micronutrients which we generally do not get from our other common food stuff. Next one. Certain medicinally important plants that I have shown. This is, Centella asiatica, locally called Thankuni, and then Acurus, Calamus. Next one. These are, the first one I have not told. This is Kulekhara. This has a very useful purpose for those who have anemia-related problems. Next one. Oh, okay. These are just selling some of the aquatic food crops just to show the livelihood of some marginal people using these aquatic plants. Next one. We have almost come to the end of the talk. Here, my main purpose is to tell you that management of these wealth, bioresource wealth, in a considerate manner is vital for our well-being and prosperity. Generally, there is a lack of information and knowledge regarding these resources. We have not so far been considering these as resources. And thus, there is a urgent need for development of awareness as well as an ownership feeling. The nurturing of aquatic food crop plants for providing rural household nutrition needs 3P. 3P means protection, propagation, and proliferation. When I say protection, I mean to say protection of natural aquatic resources. When I say propagation, it is through conservation of genetic stock. And proliferation, when you say through as much cultivation as possible, through utilization of aquatic resources. Till now, at least in our state, in state of Bengal, more than 50% water bodies remain fallow. I do not know for what reason. There may be multiple ownership, there may be many other factors. Whatever may be the reason, these remain uncultivated. Now, those water bodies which remain uncultivated so long can easily be brought under aquatic plant production purposes without any problem. Next one. With this, I wish to thank you very much. I am so sorry I could not speak in Hindi, but I regret that I should have told something. Maybe in the next time I will prepare something in Hindi and present it. Thank you very much. If there is any question, kindly,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a really unique and valuable knowledge you shared with us. We would definitely like to interact with you again if you allow us.
Please.
Yes.
Any question, anyone, any question
If
from anyone?
Okay. If anyone wants to ask question, you can ask or write it in the chat box.
Okay.
ओके सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि
हाँ, बोलिए।
स्पाइरुलिना मछलियों के लिए कैसे बेनिफिशियल है?
सुनिए, वो जो एकदम बेबी फिश जो है ना
जी,
जो बेबी फिश है, जो जिसको हमने डीम पोना कहते हैं, आफ्टर फर्टिलाइज्ड एग से वो जो बेबी निकालता, वो दे कम आउट विथ फूड फॉर 3 days, 72 hours. They come out with an yolk sac. This yolk sac provides nourishment for 3 days. Beyond 3 days means from 4th day onwards, they need some highly nutritious food. And spirulina can be a wonderful food for all such baby fish and prawn, first of all. So, for hatcheries, I should say, for hatcheries, these animal grade spirulina can be a wonderful source of nourishment, because till now, even after so much of development, 70% of the baby fish die within 7 days of their birth in our hatcheries. Now, even if we can increase the survival rate from 30% to 50%, we can make a mark in fish production without additional effort. So just by increasing their survivability to only 20% more, with the help of nutritious natural food like spirulina, this would be a great achievement for the farmers and the hatchery owners who deal with, baby fish. They call it spawn and fry in their local terms.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
हेलो सर. सर एक्वेटिक लिली का कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन हो सकता है क्या?
Pardon?
एक्वेटिक लिली जो प्लांट है ना, उसका कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन हो सकता है क्या?
Surely, at least a few, कुछ तो होते ही हो सकता है. A few, for example, I tell you, मखाना जैसे बताया आपको, मखाना तो इतना कॉस्टली हो गया अभी, क्योंकि अभी सप्लाई कम है. तो आप चाहे तो मखाना कल्टीवेशन इजीली कर सकते हैं. मखाना कल्टीवेशन की, सुनिए, मखाना के लिए आईसीआर एक इंस्टीट्यूट बना दिया दरभंगा में, और आप चाहे तो उन लोगों से पैकेज ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस भी आप ले सकते, और हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग भी उधर से ले सकते. और पटना में आईसीआर ईस्टर्न जोन का इंस्टीट्यूट है पटना में. सो पटना में है, दरभंगा में है, और आप चाहे तो मालदा में आइए, तो मालदा में फार्मर लोग काम करते, तो वो फार्मर लोगों के साथ आप 3-4 दिन ठहर जाए तो फार्मर्स प्रैक्टिस आपको भी मालूम पड़ जाएगा. सो इसीलिए इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड, there are means, by which you can, and there are, I am very sure, certain KVKs are there. वो केवीके से भी आप ट्रेनिंग ले सकते हैं. थोड़ा प्रशिक्षण लेने के बाद सीड आपको इंस्टीट्यूट से फ्री मिल जाएगा. और सीड चाहिए तो आई कैन ऑल्सो हेल्प यू फ्रॉम मालदा टू स्टार्ट विथ. May not be a huge amount, but some small amount I will definitely be able to send you. But this way you can try.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to know the size of pond required for construction of azolla, and like how much a farmer can annually earn from this cultivation.
सुनिए, आप you can dig a pit, earthen pit. There also you can grow azolla. You can grow cement tanks, rectangular tanks. There you can grow azolla. Even you can earthen vat पे भी आप कर सकते. और if you don't have a plot, just use a plastic sheets, put it on the floor, use some bricks. I will show you some photographs. If I can send you the details, if you can send the mail, your mail, I can send you the details of azolla cultivation, and you will find a lot of alternatives. To start with, virtually zero initial investment, I can tell you.
Acha.
If you can contact Ankita madam, I can send details to Ankita madam, so you can collect it from Ankita madam, or if you like, you can directly communicate to me also.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Sir, you mentioned about the Colocasia, right?
Yeah, Colocasia.
That is Guhia.
Yeah.
So it is. Yes, yes.
Ah,
So it is a seasonal crop. I'm from Ratnagiri, and in
yeah,
my village, it is
yeah,
automatically generated when
yes, or
there is
yes,
a
true.
rainy season.
Yes,
And my mother used to prepare dishes, and what she do, she used tamarind to beat that
yes. See, that itching,
itchiness.
because the tamarind contains tartaric acid. Now,
Yes,
tartaric acid reacts with calcium oxalate, so it becomes calcium tartarate, and oxalate is removed. So
yes,
that's a culinary art. Her culinary art removes that. This is a wonderful, and the adding of tamarind also adds to the taste also.
yes, yes.
Very good. Yeah.
She is also listening.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So
I
anyone
can I
else?
can send you some material for Azola. The madam who was inquiring about Azola cultivation, you can communicate to
Yes,
her if you like. Okay. Okay.
yes, sure, sir.
Yeah. I
So,
have your mail ID. I will send you.
okay, okay, sir. So, anyone else wants to ask? Yeah. I think sir has covered all in their session, and sir have huge treasure of knowledge.
Okay.
But
Thank you, sir.
we have limited time,
Uh,
so I have to bring this session towards end.
yeah.
And a heartful thanks to our guest, Dr. Pratap sir, for sharing their valuable knowledge and again giving us their precious time. Then thanks to all participants for joining today's session. And also, I would like to thank my team members for facilitating the session. Thank you. To
Thank you.
more,
Thank you so much,
uh,
Ankita.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
To know more about Jal Jivika, visit us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Okay.
Also, we have a lot of free content on YouTube channel. This AquaTalk also is recorded and it will be shown on our YouTube channel. So stay tuned. We will meet again with another interesting AquaTalk episode. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ankita. Thank you, sir.
Bye.